Your vote counts, and throughout the evening, we've been bringing you up-to-the-minute election results. Thanks for being with us. I'm Robin Nance.
And I'm Dave Erickson. During tonight's show, we'll be scrolling all of your area results at the bottom of your screen, and we'll have reaction from both political parties in all of the main races for you.
Our Sally Showman is camped out with local Democrats.
McKay Allen is at the Davenport Hotel with local Republicans.
And our Tania Dall is monitoring the major races in Idaho. We begin with one of the hottest races in the nation, Washington's race for the Senate. This one between Democrat incumbent Patty Murray and Republican Dino Rossi has been tight in the polls from day one.
And it's a tight race tonight. Here are the latest numbers with Patty Murray with 50.6%. And then right there, Dino Rossi with 49.4%. Our sister station, Como in Seattle, was at the Rossi and Murray camps. We talked to Dino Rossi. You'll hear from him in just a little bit. And Senator Patty Murray was already thanking people for their support as though she had won.
Believe in yourself, fight hard, never give up, and you will win. And you will win.
And again, we'll hear from Dino Rossi in just a little bit. Well, there was mudslinging galore in the race for State Senate Legislative District 6.
Republican Michael Baumgartner has right now 59.6% over Chris Marr with 40.4%.
And in District 7, Republican Bob Morton has 75% of the vote. Democrat Barbara Mowry has 24%.
Locally, Eastern Washington's race for the 5th District congressional seat has been decided tonight. Republican incumbent Cathy McMorris Rodgers has secured another term in Congress with 67.3%. Democrat Darrell Romaine garnered 32%.
KXLY4's McKay Allen is live at the Republican camp at the Davenport Hotel tonight. McKay, the real race people are watching, though, is the Baumgartner-Marr race.
Yeah, we are here at the Davenport right now with some very excited and very loud Michael Baumgartner supporters and Michael Baumgartner himself. All right, not a lot of votes counted so far, but right now you're in the lead. What's this like as a candidate on election night?
Well, it's encouraging. You know, obviously we still have a lot of votes to be counted, but it's a good start. Better to be ahead than behind, and it's great to be down here with my supporters and being able to thank them and give them all the credit they deserve for helping us do as well as we've done so far.
Now, you see what's going on nationally and to some degree statewide tonight. Republican wave, if you will. Talk about that, and what do you think that means for the agendas nationally and here in the state of Washington?
You know, as I said before, I don't think this is as much as a Republican wave as it is a wave of the American people saying that they want to return to limited government and free enterprise and fiscal responsibility. And I think it's just the Republican Party that's carrying that banner right now. But the key thing is going to be what happens when folks get into office. Do we follow through on our promises, and do we help balance budgets sustainably and get people back to work through the free market, not through going government? So I think that's what we're seeing here tonight.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And maybe in a few minutes we'll have a little more information, a few more votes counted.
Let's hope so.
Thank you. Now, also earlier tonight, we talked to Cathy McMorris Rodgers. She was here. She spoke to the crowd. She gave some credit to Darrell Romaine and also talked a little bit about what it means now to have a Republican majority in the House, what that means for the agendas and the future of America.
We want to get America back on track. We want to get our fiscal house in order. We want to balance budgets. We want to put people back to work. We want to unleash the wisdom, the ingenuity, the creativity of the American people.
And there was a lot of Republican cheering tonight, as there still is behind me here. The only times they were quiet is when they showed a couple of national Senate races that didn't go the Republicans' way, and also when they would show updated information on the Murray-Rossi race when it was very close. But for the most part, you had a lot of excited people here at the Davenport in downtown Spokane. In Spokane tonight, McKay Allen, KXLY4 HD News.
All right, McKay, thanks. And there was some excitement down where Sally Showman is. She is with the Democrats at the Lincoln Center in North Spokane. Sally?
Yeah, Robin, at its peak tonight, there were about 200 to 300 people here. The numbers have dwindled, probably about 60, 75 left. Among them, several candidates hoping to see an improvement in the numbers in this second round of numbers that will be released shortly. Chris Marr joins me now. You're down about 40 to 60% right now. What are you hoping for in the next few minutes with the new numbers?
You know, fortunately, what we know is that the first 16,000 ballots we saw were all from the county, outside the city limits. What we have coming up, we think, is about 4,500 ballots reported all within the city. And so we think we'll show an uptick. Traditionally, we perform really well within the city, not so well outside in the county.
So do you think by the end of tonight you'll have a really good idea of where you stand?
You know, most of those city ballots are going to be counted tomorrow, to be honest with you. Tonight will be anticlimactic. The hardcore folks here will I think, be, see a little bit of a change, but the real number to watch is tomorrow afternoon about 5 o'clock.
And this race has gotten really nasty. Why do you think it's been this way?
Well, it comes with the money. This race with the independent expenditures will be about $1.5 million, unheard of with for a state race. And quite frankly, you can't trace it back to any specific individuals or even Washington businesses. We don't really know where the money's coming from, but it's certainly had an impact. We're not the only race statewide. We're just happen to be the one where the most money's been spent.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much. Earlier tonight, I did speak with Dall Romaine as well. The numbers are not on his side. Early on, Representative Cathy McMorris Rodgers was declared the winner in that race. Let's play some sound from Dall Romaine. He explains why he thinks he was behind.
Again, a lot of people just voted looking at the party structure, D versus an R in that sense, without perhaps looking at the man. When you don't have the money that it takes to compete in today's political environment, the millions that you saw Dino and Patty spend, it's tough to communicate with people.
And according to Vicki Dalton, the auditor, Spokane County auditor, we should have a new round of numbers coming out any minute now. And so we're anticipating those numbers here at Democratic headquarters and really hoping the people here are that things improve for them. Dave, Robin?
All right, Sally, thanks. Again, for those of you who are just joining us tonight here at 11, Democrat incumbent Patty Murray has a small lead over Republican Dino Rossi. This race may not be decided until this weekend.
The 5th District congressional seat has been decided. Republican incumbent Cathy McMorris Rodgers has secured another term in Congress, as you see there, with 67% of the vote. Democrat Dall Romaine pulled in 32%.
In State Senate Legislative District 6, Republican Michael Baumgardner leading Chris Marr by 19%.
Moving on to some of our local races now for you.
In the race for County Commissioner, Democrat Bonnie Mager is trailing Al French. Al French has 51%, Bonnie Mager has 48%.
It looks like Steve Tucker has secured his position as Spokane County prosecutor there. He has 53.9% of the vote. His opponent, Frank Malone, just about 46%.
Now, across the state, voters are deciding on a number of initiatives. We're going to start with 1098, which would establish a state income tax.
And right now it's failing with 58% of the vote there. Actually, he's at 65% of the vote. Voters weighing in with 41%, 34% rather, approved of this initiative.
Initiatives 1100 and 1105 would allow the sale and distribution of liquor in places other than just liquor stores, state-run. 1100 right now is failing, as is 1105.
Initiative 1107 now. This would end the temporary sales tax on some bottled water, pop, and candy. As you see there, 62% of voters are saying yes to this initiative, 37% saying no.
In the city of Spokane, Proposition 1, also known as the Children's Investment Fund Initiative, is losing by a pretty large margin. The proposition would have increased the regular property tax levy by 35 cents per $1,000 of assessed value beginning next year.
The money would fund family and youth services. KXLY4's Kalae Chock live with reaction to tonight's results. Kalae?
Yeah, Dave, supporters gathered at a bar and bistro downtown, but they cleared out within minutes of hearing the bad news tonight. Early numbers had the proposition losing by about 30%. Now, the proposition proposed the tax increase to create a $5 million fund dedicated to reducing the school dropout rate by providing services like early childhood development, after-school programs, and mentoring. Now, the campaign manager says taxes are always unpopular, but he says this one would have saved Spokane taxpayer money in the long run.
We're going to be asked to approve a jail for $250 million in April, and it's just really unfortunate that if we don't invest in our children, we're going to be asked in another 10 years to spend another $250 million on jails.
Meantime, opponents say there isn't enough proof to back up fines like that one. They say there isn't enough science that says spending $5 million on services now will keep kids out of jail and off state aid as adults. Meantime, the campaign, though, is optimistic. It says that it's created great alliances, including the Greater Spokane Incorporated Group and hundreds of volunteers here in Spokane. The campaign says they're optimistic that they will get this proposition back on a ballot in the future. Live on the Sky Deck, I'm Kalae Chock, KXLY4 HD News.
All right, Kalae. In Idaho, we are keeping an eye on several key races there, from governor to U.S. Senate. Races are being decided.
KXLY4's Tania Dall is live with one race that's looking like an upset.
That's right. It is looking like an upset. The race for U.S. Representative 1st Congressional seat looks like a GOP win. It looks like Republican Raul Labrador is leading Democrat and incumbent Walt Minnick. It's at 51% to 41%. In the race for governor, incumbent and Republican Butch Otter has been declared the winner with 61% of the vote. Democrat Keith Allred has 32% of the vote. Finally, in the race for Idaho's U.S. Senate seat, incumbent Mike Crapo is the declared winner with 73% of the vote against Democrat Tom Sullivan, who has 23% of the vote. Again, these are unofficial results. So far, 481 of the 961 precincts in Idaho are reporting. Reporting live, Tania, Dall, KXLY4, HD News.